trucks with registration numbers, batch numbers of illicit tobacco containers, to mention a few, revealed other associated crimes of murder, human rights abuse, extortion, and intimidation. Despite incessant threats to his life, Mayor followed through until his report compelled reduced tobacco trafficking activities after he petitioned 8 directors of the company in question, Imperial Tobacco Group in the United Kingdom. Although there was no reply to his petition and no denial, an end came to the threats after the petition found its way into the hands of key actors in Nigeria, who telephoned him. Born on the 14th day of December 1971 in Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria, Mayor Emmanuel attended the Federal Polytechnic Bida, Niger State, and graduated with a degree in electrical engineering in 1993. He started his journalism career in 1995 as a reporter with Independent Weekly. In 1997, he obtained a diploma in investigation from the Center for Security Education and Research, among other qualifications. Mayor has distinguished himself in the journalism industry, having won many awards, including the 2008 CNN African Journalist Award and the inaugural Fair by African Investigative Journalism Award 2009, which he won for the same work, the 3 billion naira tobacco smuggling raid. Currently, investigations editor with the Sun newspaper, Mayor's outstanding investigative reporting style has stood him out for the 3rd time as the winner print category of the Soyinka Award for investigative reporting. May I now invite the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, Dr. Soyinka, to present the award. The prize for each winner, the plaque, the laptop, Nicholas Ibekwe. Nicholas Ibekwe. Please step forward. Thank you. Thank you. To the increasing penetration of the internet and growth of telecommunication in Nigeria, one significant impact on the media landscape is the growth of online publishing and reporting. In our quest to reward the courageous and diligent work in this area, the Wole Center for Investigative Journalism has consistently sought to promote investigative reporting that moves from the traditional analog terrain of print to the dynamic world of digital reporting. It is with great honor and pride Next, Nicholas is a graduate of English from the Lagos State University, LASU, where he led his class of 2004 with a second-class upper degree. He had a little stint as a school teacher before moving into the world of the media. Nicholas's story explores the overwhelming insecurity in the Niger Delta and the proliferation of private armies operating under the shadowy terms of risk management consultants in violation of Nigerian laws. And for that, he is today being rewarded with the award as the online reporter of the year. May I invite His Excellency, the Netherlands Ambassador to Nigeria, Dr. Harry van der Wiel, to do us the honor of making the presentation to Mr. Dickford. Thank you. Congratulations. They will help you with the award goes to Mr. Solomon Adebayo. Solomon Adebayo.
Solomon Adebayo, who visited some prisons across the country, says prison officers now mount series of toll gates at prisons to extract money from visitors.
Relatives of prison inmates are not given the opportunity to visit their loved ones under the watchful eyes of prison officers. The public relations officer of the Nigeria Prison Service, Mr. Kayode Odeyemi, who listed the conditions attached to visiting inmates, maintains that such visits are at the discretion of the prison authority.
The visitor who wants to visit an inmate in the Nigeria prison yards, we are applying to your friend Chabi, the God office without the letter, to your friend Chab, who will now direct that they should go to the visiting room, whereby the inmate administers the seats and the spot under the supervision of the officer in charge or any other staff or officer or order. So technically,
the conditions laid out by the PRO is agreement with what is obtained at prisons across the country, where prison officers collect tolls from visitors publicly as a precondition for such visits. My first port of call was the Ikoyi prison in Lagos, where visitors pay tolls to prison officers right from the gate up to the prison office. Radio Nigeria's encounter with the gun-wielding guard at the prison gate revealed the pain visitors pass through in the hands of prison officers across the country.
Who knows that radio is a powerful medium for socio-economic and political mobilization and consensus building, particularly in a society in need of sanitation and transparency, where investigative reporting via the avenue of radio can be a major reconstructive force. What we just listened to was a tour of the Nigerian prison system, the winning entry, on the decadence in the Nigerian prison system where even visitors are taxed. His report led to a probe and remedies announced by the highest prison authorities. Solomon Adebayo graduated in English from the Bello University Zaria and is currently on a master's program at the Columbia School of Journalism in New York. He is a second-time winner. The third-time winner in the broadcast category. Thank you very much, Madam. Then we invite Dr. Adiambo Odaga to do the honors of making the presentation to the winning entry in the broadcast category, radio. Dr. Adiambo Odaga, please.
Hello. Hello.
Police violence. Our winning entry in the broadcast category is a cold reminder of the urgent work that still needs to be done at the human rights level. The department knows what to do and put in the energy and diligence of a good investigative reporter to bring this together. It is a previous winner too, and has won other important professional awards. Let's now share this winning entry.
Deep grief and sorrow never written. The agony of parents when they lost a dear son is too rude a shock to hear. Never in their wildest dreams had they wished this thought their son and husband, Adebayo, would die at the early age of 39. And it's the manner of his death and the question still hanging over it 1 month after that is still a pain in the heart. In the early hours of 1st October this year, between the hours of 1 and 2 a.m., Bayo was said to have left the Palms shopping mall, heading for home on Victoria Island where he lived. To connect to the road that would take him home, he must negotiate this roundabout at the Lekki Phase 1 area. At that time, some policemen mounted a checkpoint at the roundabout, parking their vehicle right at the edge of the road. That it was at that roundabout that somehow death stalked, and it is here that the mystery begins as to how exactly Bayo died. His body had been
accident, and that at that time his car was burning. So I continued, and when I got there, I met the policemen, one of them in mufti, the other two in uniform, and another man who I think was a photographer, because he had a camera with him. So the policeman told me that the accident occurred not when they were on duty, but that some mobile policemen were the ones on duty when it happened, and that Bayo's car ran into their patrol van and somersaulted into the ditch where it caught fire. They took me closer to the vehicle, which was actually burning, and Bayo's body laid outside the vehicle. Some minutes later, the Danfo bus, which was passing by, was flat down, and the passengers were asked to come out. Bayo's body was put into the bus, and the Danfo driver was asked to take Bayo's body to the military hospital.
The fact is, the physical evidence at the scene hardly corroborates the story of the victim's car somersaulting after hitting the police patrol van. For starters, this is a live video of the roundabout. Now, let's take the police initial account to task by demonstrating the scenario they painted by means of a reconstruction. Now, here's Bayo's car approaching the roundabout. The police patrol van is arrowed in red over there. Bayo's car approaches, tires screeching, and then this happens. The car rolls over the roundabout and settles into a ditch some 300 meters away and catches fire. Bayo dies instantly. Now that is the initial account of the police. The problem with this storyline is that apart from the area of Bayo's car that hit the police van, the car is not dented after somersaulting several times. Besides, this concrete barrier surrounding the roundabout still remains standing and intact. No sign at all that a car rolled over them. That must be a miracle of some sort. Let's now turn our attention to Bayo's car itself. Over a month after the incident, the wreckage of the car still sits in the same position it was found the morning of October 1st. A closer examination shows the windscreen of the car were not shattered, they just melted by the fire. The glass of the front passenger door, which largely remains intact, is just a clear proof. This is no doubt a strange development for a car that supposedly somersaulted for a distance of about 300 meters. Yet another strange occurrence is this dry burnt-out wood directly beneath the fuel tank. Just how did it find its way to where the fuel tank is? Equally strange is the fact that the handbrake of the car is pulled up, indicating a parking position. But one incident eventually proved this initial account by the police was an absolute lie. When Bayo's body was taken to the military hospital, a shocking discovery was made.
When I looked at his body, I was surprised that this man doesn't have any mark on the body at all. For a car that somersaulted, no bruises, nothing. Then I just queried that, how come his head is so shattered? It looked like a bumper had just been smashed. And, well, there and then people were passing comments, and the lady doctor who said she doesn't buy an accident story, and this looks like gunshots.
Indeed, there were no injuries on the body apart from the gaping hole on the head of the victim. Pathologist's examination would later confirm everyone's fears. The result revealed Bayo had died from missile injury, in other words, from gunshots and at close range.
Well, we are yet to conclude the investigation into the case, but I must say that we have progressed substantially. As to what is actually our findings or the progress we made, I think again I might not want to issue out this in piecemeal or instrumentally. I would rather wait for a detailed and final investigation report to be issued, and as soon as that is issued, of course, we're going to make it public.
Has the police made any arrests at all?
Well, of course, people were interviewed, people were interrogated, and that that's the situation.
Although there's no official confirmation yet, we gathered from sources who would not want their identity disclosed that the police authorities may have accepted that the mobile policemen on duty at the roundabout that early morning of 1st October actually shot Bayo. However, they added that the men fired at Bayo because he refused to stop after he had hit their patrol van. They said the men opened fire suspecting he was a criminal when he would not stop after he had been flagged down. Let's again take this scenario to task by means of another reconstruction. Now, this is Bayo's car approaching the roundabout. Arrowed again in red is a police van in its actual position. A few meters away, two policemen stood guard, and some meters away from the two men, a third policeman stood guard with a rifle. Now Bayo approached the roundabout, hit the police van, ignored these men who asked him to stop, and moved on. And the third policeman then appeared in front of him and took a precise shot which hit the victim directly on the head. The victim then lost control, and the car suddenly turned 90 degrees, rolled over to the other lane, and rolled into a ditch before going out in flame. Questions. At what speed was Bayo driving after hitting the police van? Was the speed low enough to allow the third policeman to take a very accurate shot? What was the lighting situation around the area? How did the car make a sudden 90-degree turn, climbed onto the other lane, and went straight into the ditch? How did the car suddenly go up in flame? What was the weather condition that early morning? What did the policemen do when the car caught fire? How did this log of wood get beneath the fuel tank? How come the handbrake is pulled? And how come the hole on the head of the victim shows the shot was taken at a close range? Unfortunately, in the course of our investigation, no one around the area would tell us whether or not they witnessed the incident, not even some of the night guards who work in some other facilities around the place. And since the victim himself is dead, we are left with the policemen who were on duty on that early October morning. Will their conscience break them enough to tell the truth?
Modebaya Woshika would have been 40 on the 9th of December 2008 had he not died under such a mysterious circumstance back in October this year. He had plans to celebrate his birthday with his wife and 2 kids. Unfortunately, that is not to be, as his body now lies 6 feet below this vault. Dave Batmos, Channels Television News.
Lady Barkos, thank you. May we of the broadcasting category. Mr. Tunde Awobi, thank you.
Who struggles to tell the truth and who endeavors to ensure that the truth is brought out in the open. I also want to thank the cameraman who went with me. This story started from nothing and this is what it's resulted in. I want to thank Theophilus Adigboda, who is the cameraman. I especially want to thank the chairman of Channels Television, that's the chairman CEO, Mr. Dramo. He actually asked me to do that story and provided all the logistics, all the support. So I'll say thank you very much to Mr. Dramo and to Channels Television as well, the editors and everybody. Thank you very much. And then want to thank you all for your encouragement and support. Without your encouragement, of course, we wouldn't be able to do some of those things. Thank you very much.
Journalistic excellence, or excellence in journalism. May we invite the representative of Dr. Christopher Kolade to please step forward. Fourth, Adon. Those who are familiar with his communication strategies and his years as a diplomat, and even now as the Pro-Chancellor of the Pan-African University here in Lagos, where he also teaches business ethics, have no difficulty in agreeing with us as we announce him as our honored candidate for the Lifetime Award for Media Excellence. This is an award we introduced to honor the great parts of the profession as an inspiration for the present and the future. We earnestly thank Dr. Kolade today for a lifetime commitment to excellence, to ethics, and to integrity. May I now invite Mr. Soyinka Adefaye. Mr. Soyinka Adefaye, the Dean of Editors President, today has the honor of presenting the Lifetime Award for Media Excellence to Dr. Mr. Dabololo. Of the socio-economic is Mr. Tayo Yetigo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Before we invite him to formally invite Professor Wole Soyinka, the Anti-Corruption Defender Award, which this year goes to Madam Nobu Ribadu. Wonderful, courageous wife of Madam Ribadu, Zara, to please do us the honor of stepping forward as we present the citation. And the sisters here as well. So the presentation by